Thank you for watching the World Community Magazine's Hour of Power Live on Facebook with your host Edward McQueen and April Garner Davis.
Are you ready? I can't hear you. Oh, it might be me. Hold on. Let me see. I cannot hear you at all. It might be my device. Let me see. Okay, can you hear me now? I can't hear you. Well, you're muted. Are we having a technical difficulty this evening?
Yeah. Got me.
Okay, I think it was on my end. Sorry about that, folks. How are you this evening, Brother Edward?
Good, my dear sister. How
A
are
little
you?
reverb. Do you have that speaker on? I hear some feedback.
I'm going to plug these bad boys in right now.
All right, I appreciate it. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight. I am April Garner, World Community Magazine co-host, and kicking it to Brother Edward, our World Community Magazine host. I still hear the feedback, Brother Edward. If you have that external speaker, it's going to do it every time.
Yeah, you don't hear it.
That's
anymore.
better. Don't hear it anymore.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
All right. Yeah, you fix that. Ah.
So, April, it's summer jobs time, okay?
It is.
And
Believe it or not.
Yeah, believe it or not. Last year we were unable to do it for primary reason was the administrative help that was available. It was unavailable, and so we had to forego it, and because we don't want to have a sloppy program, right? So rather than have that, we just went ahead and didn't have it. So, but this year we're going to we can call it a makeup. All right, we're gonna do it this time and even better. So what we have in store is a strategy that we've selected to discuss for making it much better this year, and see if we can't. Now I won't use the word do more efficiently, but because I felt that we've already done an efficient job in terms of paying our youth and making sure that they had something to do during the summertime. So, having said that, April, our discussion centered around a new strategy, right? A new way of approaching it this year, and if you don't mind, since it's your strategy.
It's my. Did you just put me on the spot?
It's your strategy.
It's our strategy, Brother Edward. It's ours.
To our viewers, whenever she has a strategy, it's 100% workable. Okay, so we're not even questioning the feasibility of this happening. Okay, no, I'm serious. Yeah. So kudos to you, April, and your skill at that. I've been watching that over a number of years, even before you came on the WCM Live.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because I've been with you for 10 years now, almost 10 years now, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's been I think this is the 10th year, something like that. Wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but first of all, Brother Edward, like I said, we're tag teaming this. It's a new strategy, but it is centered around some things that we believe are totally essential for student success, right, in terms of employability. Mm-hmm. And each year, of course, World Community Magazine has hosted the Summer Jobs Program and has received tremendous help from the community in terms of donations and community partnerships to employ the students. And there's a lot of behind the scenes work that's done in terms of even putting together a program such as this. And Brother Edward has done a tremendous job over the years, and he's going to talk a little bit in a minute about the successes over the years and things that some of the participants have been able to do. But last year, the Summer Jobs Program took the summer off, just like you said, and so it's back, and we're actually in the planning stages, and we want to get this information out to the community, particularly parents who are looking for some enrichment for their students this year and or over the summer. And, what better way to do it than to create a program that is not only going to put these students to work, but it will also teach them what it means to be employable and how to navigate, things in the workforce, whether it's, the proper way to provide customer service all the way down to, problem solving and conflict resolution. And so we had a really extensive conversation about why this particular type of thing is important now more than ever. And so Brother Edward and I are going to lean into that tonight. And we hope that our watching and listening audience will understand why we're taking this time to do this. For one, our young people really do need some enriching activities over the summer while they have downtime, because we all know that idle mind is the devil's playground, and we want to make sure that our students have an opportunity and the youth have an opportunity to do some things that will empower them while they are waiting to return to school in the fall. And so we have beautiful programs such as the Summer Literacy Program that community icon Marjorie McIver puts together every single year with her team. And I've been blessed to be a part of that initiative in the past. And if she might join us, at some point during this broadcast to kind of chime in on what we're talking about as far as summer jobs, and even to give us a little bit more information about the summer literacy program. So at this point, at least throughout Horry and possibly Georgetown County, and even Marion County, we've had students in the summer literacy program from Marion County in the past, but there's going to be at least 2 offerings this summer, but one of them, and the one we're focusing on tonight, is the WCM Live Summer Jobs Program. So just to kind of gear it up a little bit and to talk about why we've kind of turned the corner and we're going to offer something a little different. I guess, Brother Edward, this is an opportunity for me to ask you some questions, since you were really instrumental in pulling together the community partnerships, and you understand most about what the students were experiencing through the summer jobs programs in the past. What would you say was probably the most rewarding experience that the students had through the summer jobs program, as it was in the past?
I think it was rewarding for me and the summer job student was the reaction, okay, and the gratitude from my perspective, gratitude of the student. I'll say student right now, for just receiving, knowing that they were compensated for the work that they've been doing on a weekly basis. They realized rather quickly that they were being prepared for real life situations, okay, the workforce, okay, and in some cases they actually went through a lot of incidences of what we may have looked at as a challenge, where you had a little difficulty on certain jobs and then disagreements on certain things. Well, that's employment, okay? Mm-hmm. You're going to have that in real life. So it was interesting, but it was sobering to know that these things were happening. And to me, that's worthy of a semester or a year in college, okay? And and that makes me want to continue on and address issues that parents have regarding finding their child something to do for the summer, and it's just totally gratifying. I mean, it's I just thought it was great, and we've had good feedback. Some are in the workforce right now and doing well. Some have gone on to college and finished college. Okay, because the program's been like 8 years ago. I'd like to talk about one young man in particular. Name's Kajon. He's He's the young gentleman that was raised, oh, well, not raised, but kind of mentored quite well in a parental capacity by Miss Dolores Edwards Rozier. And she's proud of that, and I'm definitely proud of that because I know Dolores put a lot of time in, and we worked with her, me being the male, and she is female, but I wasn't the only male that was surrounding her. We had Councilman White and a number of others who continuously surrounded this young man and kind of, did what we thought was going to help him to be prepared for life. So this is his last year at Allen University.
Already? Wow.
Yeah.
What time flies? Oh my goodness.
I think this is his last year. I think that's what she said. This is his last year at Allen University. But we caught him when he was like in the 9th grade, I believe. About 9th grade, something like that. And at that point, he didn't know what he wanted to do. But he's also almost a certified mechanic. I was told that he could do some repairs on cars just like that. So I'm glad I know him.
Exactly, and that's definitely a field where we need more. We need more students to enter that work field because it certified mechanics, plumbers, a lot of the trades. For whatever reason, they don't equate that to being in college, but you have to get some type of advanced training in order to make sure that you're able to do those things. Otherwise, we're just all going to be DIY, flooding our basements and breaking things, making them worse. And we need those types of people in those areas of expertise. The other thing is that he's going to make an excellent living as a mechanic. I mean, it's wonderful.
I can't wait till you need. Everybody wants a personal mechanic. Okay. Everybody wants a personal mechanic, and I certainly want one. Not that the ones that I've been going through are terrible, but it's just because of a lack of them, you have to be penalized with timing. Okay, not getting things on time and stuff like that. So, but then April, he's not the only one. We had the Miller family in Sugar Hill. Meyer, she's a young lady that got one more year at A&T in engineering. Okay, her brother got his first name, but he's also Miller. He's at Benedict, and I think he has a year and a half or something like that. I really feel good about it. That's enough encouragement for us to, or for me anyway, to have the energy to want to continue with this summer jobs program. And I'm hoping that anybody who's watching this to realize that we can have those kind of results at one year, because we had some 75 students. I think it was 2022, I believe. And Bucksport played an important role in that. The Conway's summer camp, Conway Police Department summer camp played a role. Mr. Tyrese Nesmith. And before her was Miss Spain.
Cassandra Spain.
Yeah, Miss Cassandra Spain. Yeah, excellent job, both of them. And Miss Betty Goss at Bucksport.
James R. Frazier Center.
James R. Frazier Center. I mean, it was just. I think we've been. I like to use the word blessed in cases like this. I mean, we actually, just to see growth. Everybody wants to see growth. Okay?
Wants to see growth. Exactly.
And they express desires to want to come back to Conway to start over, not over again, but spread out their roots in terms of being productive. And so I'm looking for a lot of entrepreneurship there to take place. Look, and I'll say this to anybody. If K-John, for example, wants to be a mechanic and he has a degree, look, you're probably gonna get the best mechanic you can find. Somebody with a bachelor's degree, right? And when you be an auto mechanic, you know, he's ready for all the changes. And there are a lot of changes coming down the pike in terms of technology. Okay, you have to be, especially if you have your own business. Nobody can train you. Have your own business, you're gonna have to learn all of the new technology being injected into these new cars.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So your typical mechanic can't do that if he doesn't have basic academic knowledge, which I'm expecting from Kijan. You know, I'm going through this because, you know, I've never had to talk about it before, but that's a case where that needs to be explored. Okay, and potential there is enormous. I'd like to see that happen. You know, so there are many others who went through our program.
Right, and I think it will happen with this, you know, new and next generation of students, because you're right, everything is so based in technology and AI and a lot of different things, and those things are about the evolution of the workforce. There are some things that you might not pick up through academic programs, at least unless there's an intentional component to your education, that are also essential for success in the workplace. And so one of the things that we talked about, of course, was how to elevate the summer jobs program so that students will understand what it means to be a part of the workforce, to be productive and positive and results oriented, but also not only how to get the job, but how to keep the job when it comes down to exhibiting certain interpersonal skills and communication skills that are essential to just, you know, being in the workplace. You know, the understanding of accountability and chain of command protocols, and even dressing for success. There's so many different types of things that impact your ability to be successful in the workplace. And even with a summer jobs program such as this, we may be able to place students with employers so that they can do a certain task. Right. But we're not always sure that they have the grooming or the mentoring within those particular spaces to really have an understanding or an awareness of the other elements of being employable and, you know, eventually marketable for other job opportunities. So, you know, that's one of the things that we've decided that we would focus on when it comes down to the summer jobs program this year. Employability skills, and making sure that the participants are prepped and that they understand what they should do whenever they, you know, go into the workforce, and when they become a part of, you know, an employer's staff or whatever the case is, so that, you know, they can be seen as essential to the work environment. And so I know that, you know, some of our viewers tonight, thank you, Stephanie Sessions Malone, for watching, and Makita Hunter for watching all the way in the New Jersey area. We appreciate it. Even the viewers, if you're able to chime in, you know, what do you think is like the most important employability skill that young people need to know about, that they need to understand? We're going to kind of take a deeper dive into these types of skill sets and things that they really need to be aware of while they're in these work experiences, by introducing them to these concepts while they are part of this summer jobs program. And so that's kind of the new flavor of the summer jobs program. And we've put together an idea, kind of a scope of what it's going to look like. You know, Makita says communication, and that is definitely one of the most important skill sets that young people need to be aware of, that everything is about communication. There is a such thing as bad communication. There is such thing as no communication. And there's even a such thing as I've communicated it well, but the other party may not receive the communication in the way it was intended. And so, there's so many different layers and forms of communication that, are a part of even being successful in the workforce. And we want to be sure that students are getting this rich knowledge of how to present themselves whenever they are a part of these environments, and those skills will be highly transferable wherever they go. And Brother Edward, the truth of the matter is that a lot of these skills are intrinsic, or they're even learned in the home. Yeah. So parents have a very big responsibility in terms of making sure that their children are ready for the workforce. They're young people, they're teenagers or whatever, ready for the workforce, because they're mimicking things that they see and hear. And if you do a thing that is just a part of kind of like your relaxed environment at home, sometimes the youth pick up on this as, well, this is the way we do things. This is the way I say things. This is how it is, and they tend to replicate that on the job, where it's not really always an appropriate environment to do and say certain things. So Jamal Kinlaw, thank you for watching tonight. Jamal, I tell you, that's somebody that I'm gonna have to put on my list, someone who would be great to speak to the youth. Dressing presentable, he's right. Dressing for success is highly important. And if if your young people are seeing that you're getting dressed, whether it's business casual or top-notch business in suit attire or whatever, they will get the full idea that this is how I'm supposed to present myself in the workplace, or they will follow the guidelines that are presented by their employer. So again, even though in a program like a summer jobs program where we're able to place students, that's a great thing. It's an even better thing to be able to introduce them to these employability concepts, so that they understand the importance of being aware of these things before they actually go out. So, Brother Edward, when we were talking about some of the community partners pre-show as we were preparing for this particular show, and a lot of them have different types of opportunities for students, and it's not like they're always going to be in an office type environment or whatever, but they are environments where they are connecting with and dealing with people on a regular basis. So that interpersonal skill set is very important. Why do you think it's important for us to talk to our young people early on about how to connect with other people on the job?
You see, the earlier you start, of course, I think mentorship needs to come into play there someplace. Not immediately in the beginning, but the earlier they start, of course, everybody knows the better off things are going to be. Okay, mm-hmm. So it makes it easier for the people who want you to succeed, and even mentors make it easier for you to get a mentor 3 or 4 years down the road. When you start off early, at least, and you are adaptable to authorship. In other words, when people, lack of a better word, maybe parentalship, but when people are exerting authority over you, if you accept it well, you're going to succeed. Okay, but if you're always defiant, not always, but if you're defiant sometimes, you may not have that type of mentor that can take that. Okay, so that's why I think it's so critical for them to start off in the early stage. You got a lot more time to work with them before they get to that critical stage of maybe not 10, 11, 12 and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. And like Stephanie says, attitude is important. I think that, taking a good attitude into the workplace and understanding what it means to display a good attitude in the workplace is definitely one of the essential elements of being successful, because, you and I both know there are times when we go into our workplaces and it's really hard to muster up a good attitude about being at work that day because of something you're dealing with, somebody you're dealing with or whatever. But you always have to, figure out how to put those types of things to the side so that you can stay focused and productive on the job, but also so that you won't be seen as a negative energy in the office space, or, someone who, does not fit into the culture of the workspace. And so, these are things that we want to make sure that our students are aware of, and that they have knowledge of. And so that, whenever they are presenting themselves, I used to always think about it this way. I'm not only representing me as a employee for that particular company, but I'm representing my family. I'm representing my community. So I want to make sure that how I am perceived is indicative of how I was raised, how I was groomed. And a lot of times that's not really present when it comes down to, employees or people that you work with. You kind of question sometimes, do they know better? I mean, it seems some things seem common sense to us, and yet they're not so common to other people. And it could be the fact that maybe they weren't raised to understand how to present themselves or how to represent themselves in the workplace. And so the summer jobs program, and the fact that we're coming back and trying to do a different thing is going to be important this summer, in that there will be the introduction of these types of concepts. And so we'll be reaching out to the community to help us with some of the topics that will be part of the curriculum, is what we're going to call it. But also, we want students to be able to see successful people from the community who can, pour into them with some great advice on how they can get the most out of their employment experiences, and also how they can, present themselves as a best or a great candidate for a position, and become essential to an employer, or an asset to an employer. And that's also what you want. Whenever you are taking on a new career field, you want to not only show your expertise in a particular area, but you also want to show that you have the interpersonal skills to make it as well. So, we're not going to be able to share all of the program concepts tonight, or even the details, but what we do want to let our parents know, in particularly, is that this is still a program where the participants will receive a stipend. Brother Edward is going to talk in a bit about what that rate will be, and we've kind of mapped it out to be about a 6-week program that will begin the week after graduation. So I believe that's the week of June 9th, and will run through the week of July 14th. And so we've got some great plans in the making, and I'll come back and mention a little bit more about how students or parents can sign their students up and what they can expect. And we're still working behind the scenes on a few things, but I think now is the time for us to, really put a little bit more into the program, so that students get that enrichment piece and they feel empowered whenever they go out into the workforce. So Brother Edward, thank you, Mary Skinner Jones, and we appreciate the kind remarks. And also, we know that we'll be able to get your support. So look for more information to come. But Brother Edward, you want to talk about the stipend piece of it that we talked about earlier?
Yeah. Just like you mentioned briefly, we don't know whether we should call it a stipend or not, but they will get paid. They're going to be compensated.
Yeah, they're going to get paid.
They're going to be compensated, let's put it that way. And we want to make it quite attractive for them. So, so here's the strategy that we're gone beyond exploring. So it looks like we may go and use that one, and that is to start with a video for video presentation. I mean, zooming. First of all, zooming. Okay, and I think we talked about, for example, having that 2 nights per week, maybe Monday and Wednesday. And then,
actually 2 mornings, not nights.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well,
just 2 days per week. We don't know for sure yet when.
I've never had a Zoom in the morning.
Well, we're talking about these kids now. We're talking about these kids. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So we're talking about, in the morning, 10:30, 11 o'clock, whatever, for an hour, and we're paying $10 an hour, for participation, and that's for a total of 3 hours, because we're calling this 2 days and 1 hour per day of Zooming, and then we go to an unmonitored hour for your study. It gives you opportunity to study, to give feedback on your the hour that you will be having the next week. Okay, so at that rate, it's about, let's just stop there with $10 an hour. Okay, as opposed to 2 years ago we were going $6 an hour, but we still about it falling in the same range. Okay, because physically you will be participating less. Okay, so
which makes it a little easier on the parents.
Yeah. Right,
who may have to worry about transportation issues and things like that.
Absolutely. So it's going to be a first come, first served basis. So after listening to this tonight, you can hurry up and make up your mind of trying to get your child into this program. So my total of 6 weeks. Initial 5 weeks will encompass the structured 3 days that I just mentioned. Which is an hour apiece. That's 3 hours per week. It's beginning to sound attractive already, right? Just 3 hours a week, right? Okay. For 5 days, so that's like 15 hours. But we're gonna pay you every week for those 3 hours, okay? And at the end, which is the beginning of the 6th week, you will work. Same rate for $10 an hour, but you work for the entire week, okay, on an average of 4 hours a day, okay. So I'm going to save a little bit more for the next go around. So I know it sounds attractive to everybody, and it is attractive, okay. So that's what we're shooting for, and that's what we want to have your attention for 6 weeks, all right.
So 6 weeks of preparation, like Brother Edward said, about 5 weeks will be rooted in kind of like I guess an academy type of environment where we will introduce the participants to certain employability concepts and guest speakers and a few other things. And then there will be a final week where they will actually go out into the workforce and be partnered with community partners who have already agreed to take in a participant or some participants for the summer. And by the end of the 6 weeks, participants will have a nice little chunk of change to help them with, school supplies, getting clothes, whatever it is that they need. And just as usual, the summer jobs program was always meant to be supplemental, a help for parents and families who needed just to make sure that their children were doing something during the summer to kind of keep them occupied, but also to elevate the mind. And what's wrong with doing that while you're earning a little money? Mary Skinner Jones asks, do you ask persons to sponsor a youth, or do you have the funds? Great question, Miss Mary. We actually are reaching out to see if we can get sponsors for this, business sponsors or individual sponsors. If you would like to donate funds to the program, Brother Edward will release that information really soon. As a matter of fact, I'm going to have a registration form that will be set up by the end of this week. So we'll be taking in kind of the interest information. And, if you can sponsor a student in the program, that's ideal, to be able to sponsor, one student or whatever, and we'll be able to release that information to anyone who's interested in sponsoring. Or if you just want to give, no amount is too large or too small. We've kind of determined that we would like to have a little bit smaller class so that we can, definitely connect with these students on a more personal level. Sometimes when you have classes that are too large, it's really hard to keep the attention span and also to manage very large groups. And so we're going to see if this first flight is successful. And if so, then we'll roll out a second flight if we have time over the summer. But the bottom line is Sponsors, yes, sponsor youth. You can donate. Brother Edward has already done some behind the scenes work to connect with community partners to see who would be interested in taking students again this year. We will release that list a little bit later, but we already have some great prospects for when they actually have the workforce experience at the end of the program this year. And so as we put together this Employability Academy, is what we're kind of calling it, we really want students to understand that there is a level of preparation that comes with getting ready for the workforce. And as they get ready for the workforce and they understand some of the concepts that we're going to mention to them and that we're going to teach them along the way, there will be interactive activities. They'll be responsible for a couple of homework assignments or activities, and we'll have a full schedule of how that's going to roll out. But it will definitely be the best 2 days of Zoom meetings with us as facilitators during the week. And then eventually they will actually be ready to go for their time with an employer by the end of the program. So thank you so much for that question. If anyone else has any questions, please drop them in the chat and we'll answer them later. We just wanted to roll out this particular program tonight and to get some information out to all of you. And of course, this message is particularly for parents. If you have youth or students ages 14 to 17, this is definitely the program for you. And sometimes, there are certain employers that will take students a little younger, maybe around 13. We definitely want to work with students who will be able to not only take in this information, but to really assess it and comprehend it in the way that we intend. So 13, I would say 17 is a really good age. Nowadays we need to start younger, but for this particular focus this summer, it's going to be that 14 to 17-year-old age group, because they'll be entering the workforce really soon. So Brother Edward, do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I did, but I think you said most of it. You mentioned the fact that, and you smiled about them having a small chunk of a good chunk of change.
Yes.
I can back that up. Yeah, you're gonna love it, okay?
Yes.
You're gonna love it, okay? So
yeah.
So having said that, April, I think in successive weeks, starting this Tuesday and next Tuesday, we're going to be pondering on the same issue. Okay, the summer jobs program.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, highlighting some things and repeating some of the things just in case
over the next few weeks.
Yeah, for the next few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because our targeted date is June 9th.
Yes,
okay,
to start.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because school is out on the 6th, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
June 6th. So
Mm-hmm.
June the 9th, we want to start. So, so you parents, get your young people ready from 14 to 17, and so we can have a successful program to start them off on their adulthood. Okay, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. So we just want to take a little time tonight to bring that to your attention. Again, this is the WCM Summer Jobs Program. It's back with a different flavor, and I know that everybody is going to enjoy it. Going to be interactive with an opportunity to also be with an employer by the end of the program with like I said, an opportunity to earn some money while they learn, which is great. But for next week, April 29th, we actually will have a wonderful guest with us. I can't wait to have her on. She is a tremendous presence in and throughout Williamsburg and Georgetown communities, and actually everywhere. I don't know anybody who doesn't know Sue Ham. Solandia Hammond. She's going to be with us next week, and Sue Ham is actually a mortgage broker, a real estate investor, a playwright, and a veteran. And she is doing some great things in her community in terms of taking old dilapidated houses and flipping these homes and turning them into rental properties, rental income. She's also on the track to actually teach her teenage son how to be a real estate mogul as well. And so we're going to hear from her next week. She's going to talk to us about what it means to be on the journey to home ownership and what you need to do in order to prepare yourself to become a first-time homeowner, but also the things that you also need to consider if you want to go into a career in real estate investing. So Solandia Sue Hamhammond is going to be with us next week at 7 p.m. here on WCM Live, and we can't wait to have her on. So Brother Edward,
again,
yeah,
because, she was interesting.
Yes, she's a lot of energy, a lot of great energy, and I'm sure you're going to learn a lot. So make sure you have your notebooks and your pens ready when she's with us next week. But there's going to be some other things to come. Brother Edward and I were also talking about how we could prepare for the summer jobs program rollout with the past donors and future donors. So as we work out those details, as he stated, at the end of each broadcast, we will make mention of what we're doing to, make sure that we're prepared for our June 9th rollout. So I just want to thank everyone for their attention tonight, and hopefully you're excited about this possibility. We're going to not only provide some job opportunity for the participants this year, but we're going to teach them how to be employable, how to get the job and keep the job. And I think that that's really important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So April, we should set aside a day for registration. Is that correct?
Yeah. So the registration form will be available by the end of this week. So we will probably post a link on Facebook as soon as it's ready. But you'll use the WCM magazine website to register for the summer jobs program, and any summer enrichment programs that are out there. Typically we will post them on the WCMmagazine.net website. I'm sure Ms. McIver will be giving us information soon about the summer literacy program. You'll be able to find that information there. I tell you, there's a lot of opportunity for the young people this summer.
It's enormous.
Literacy, financial empowerment. What else can we bring them? If you all have any ideas, let us know, because we want to bring to the community what it needs.
Man, it's just so much out there. It blows my mind sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, Brother Edward, do you have anything else before we call it a night?
No. Let's we don't want to, but we have to call it a night until we get some more information for you all.
Yes.
Okay? And we're going to go back to the drawing table and complete the drawing, and see if we can't have something for you next week, along with our guests, or immediately after that, the guests, to talk about that again. It'll be very brief, but like April mentioned, the guests that we're going to be having next week. That should be exciting.
Mm-hmm. I like that Miss Mary posted community involvement. That really is an essential part of your employability as well, because if employers see that you also have a knack or a propensity to be involved in community service activities, then they know that it's not just about a paycheck for you. They know that you have the willingness to actually give back in a civic way and to make your communities, stronger and better by volunteering and, providing services and offerings to people through, different types of mediums. Like, right now I'm volunteering in a number of capacities, and, two of the latest projects that I've been working on, or at least, community service areas that I've been working in, are the Ronald McDonald House and also Meals on Wheels. And, two distinctly different types of services that are available to the community. I've learned so much through those volunteer opportunities, but it also has opened my mind about the fact that there are needs out there that can be met in very large and very small ways. And the idea of being able to provide a person a meal, a day, or a couple of meals a day, because they just don't have access to it, or maybe they have food, but they don't have enough. That's enriching, and it's very satisfying in terms of like that personal give back. And as you meet the individuals on a Meals on Wheels route, you're finding out that it's more than just a meal. It's also about having someone to just have a quick chat with, and some company for just a few moments. Working with the Ronald McDonald House, I've learned in such a short period of time a lot about the needs of families that have critical medical emergencies with their infants and teens. And so, these instances could include, preemies or premature infants, pediatric surgeries, cancer situations, major accidents where there's, surgery that's needed. And all that the families really want and need is a level of comfort and, just peace and someone to give them some encouragement and help them to, find their strength as they go through these emergency situations with their young ones. And so, the little bit of volunteering at the Ronald McDonald House, it actually it definitely humbles you as you think about the critical needs that these families have, and how you're blessed or fortunate to not have to deal with those things, but in the same breath that you have the strength and the ability to give to them because of the fact that they're in need, and you have the means or the resources to help them out. And so even as young people are looking into the workforce, and they're trying to figure out, okay, what career move do I want to make? They also need to think about how they can give back to the community, and give back in a way that doesn't always include making money. Because if we don't do that, then, our resources will be depleted. Somebody's got to do it, even if it's an hour a week. And we'll talk more about community involvement. And, even though it's from the standpoint of social services, sometimes it's also political. It's a lot of different things. There's a lot of different things out there that people can get involved with just to make our communities better. So thank you for that. I actually made a note of that, Miss Mary, community involvement. We'll talk about those things as well whenever we introduce the students to these concepts. So just wanted to, as I said before, we're rolling out the Summer Jobs Program. Brother Edward, thank you, and Sister Joella for the foundation that you laid down for this type of a program over the years. And, sometimes you have to step back and take a break from things just to kind of refocus and, get a different perspective on how to do it better the next time, how to elevate it the next time, how to improve it. Everything can be improved. And so I'm very grateful that you heard me out as far as the idea of incorporating this piece into it. And we would love community input. If you think this is a great thing, awesome. If you have ideas on about things that we can include, would love to hear it, because it's all about grooming our young people to be the best that they can be as they prepare for the future. So that's my 2 cents, Brother Edward, for the night.
That was a dime.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So
that was at least a dime.
A dime, okay. That was my dime's worth. But yeah, so thank you all for watching tonight. Again, next week, April 29th, 7 p.m., we have Solandia Suham Hammond, real estate investor, mortgage broker, playwright, military veteran. She's done it all, and we're going to have a great conversation with her. So spread the word, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah, spread the word. Right, exactly. Spread the word. Spread the word.
Spread the word. Spread the word. All right.
Thank you all night. Godspeed.
All right. Yes. Have a good night, everyone. All right.
Thank you for watching the World Community Magazine's Hour of Power Live on Facebook.